All right, all organized. So we're gonna head up toward the community center, check on this fish, and forage in the meantime. I think we will take the long way around and stop at the museum to drop Vincent off his birthday gift. Kick this. Let's see. No, we already kicked that earlier, I think. Actually, let's just head straight over there. We're already halfway up to the top, so we might as well do that. Okay, all right, plenty of forageables to grab today, even though it's not a great luck day, so we're not getting stuff that's super high value. These, the daffodils are pretty good for gifts for a lot of people. Haley likes them, so does Vincent, like I said, and it's his birthday today. All right, so I'm thinking, yeah, so this is not the right fish. That's a halibut. We're looking for a tilapia. That's that brown one all the way toward the right there. No big deal. We were going to head up this way and forage anyway, so it's not like we really wasted our time. And like I said, better to double check than to kick yourself later. In the future, I'm going to try and do a little bit of a better job keeping track of what I need here, but I've filled up this community center so many times, you'd think I'd know by now, but, sometimes you just forget. All right, so wander around this way. A lot of times there's a lot of flowers and stuff up over here. Nothing yet. Oh, but there's Haley. We can give her one of these daffodils. She's very pretty, but she's not so smart. Okay, so here we go. Ooh, another daffodil. Great. All right. So at this point, I know Vincent's definitely at the museum for his tutoring, so we will head over that way to give him his birthday gift. We also have, I think, we have an extra one, so maybe we can give a flower to Jazz too. She also really likes them. Penny is super particular with her gifts. She is one of my least favorite characters for that reason, because she's kind of rude when you give her something that she doesn't like, but what are you gonna do? All right, get the trash can. You often find really good stuff in the museum trash can and the blacksmith. Maybe that's just a coincidence based on my experience, but I seem to find stuff that's helpful in both of those. All right, so gave him his birthday present, gave Jazz a gift that she really liked, so everyone is happy. And we will head up toward the east side of the river. I think we're going to stop at the Joja Mart while we're off doing that, just because there's a couple people in there that maybe we haven't met yet, and that way you know where it is. In my walkthrough, we're not going to be spending a whole lot of time at Joja Mart. Instead of doing the community center, you can just purchase a membership at Joja Mart, and basically that will turn into a Joja Mart warehouse, and you get all of the same rewards and all of that as filling up the community center. But in my experience, it's not nearly as much fun. Half of the game basically is wandering around and getting all those hard to get items in order to fill up the community center. So, I don't see the point in doing that, and that's not really the point of this walkthrough. This walkthrough is showing you how you can get through the first year, making the most money and getting as close to completing, if not entirely completing, the community center as possible. It's possible to get it done in a year. It's definitely not easy, but if we don't have it all the way done at the end of this year, it will probably be one or two items that we didn't get because of weather conditions or some other issue like that. There's been a couple times I've done it where it didn't rain for the entirety of fall, so there was some fall fish like the walleye that I just couldn't get, and I didn't have the skill at that point to make the rain totem, so couldn't make it rain in order to get the fish. It was really irritating because other than that one item, I would have had enough to complete the community center in my first year. All right, say hey to Demetrius. He's doing his sciencey kind of stuff. We have one space left in our inventory, so walk over here to this little area over by the log where we get the best quality fish. And, all right, piece of driftwood. So that's not worth big money, but it will be helpful once we get the recycling machine together, because it will turn into stuff like regular wood. Sometimes you get hardwood out of it. So I just save all that stuff early on in the game because you get next to no gold for all the trash anyway. And you might as well just, spend your time saving it and using it for something that you are going to use or get money for later on. And it won't be all that much later on. We should get a recycling machine pretty soon here. All right, head back to the farm since our backpack is full. Like I said, one of the next things we're going to get as soon as we buy all these strawberry seeds is a bigger backpack. You will have a lot more time to walk around without worrying about stopping back at the farm or off at places like Pierre's and Willie's to sell stuff. So let's see here. We got some more coal, so we can use some of our copper ore to make another copper bar here, which is great because now we have enough copper bars for an upgrade to one of our tools. Like I said, we're not going to do that quite yet, but they are now ready and waiting, and we're not going to have to worry about scrounging around for them once we get to the point where we can afford them after the spring festival. All right, so at this point, I think it might make sense to do a little more foraging down south. It's 4:30. We're in the yellow with our energy, so we have plenty of time, plenty of energy. We also have some field snacks, so if we start getting tired, we can just eat one of those and not pass out far from the farm and waste all of our money and our energy for the next day, which, as I've said before, is one of the biggest bummers ever. And we're already finding some stuff. Dandelion. I think we've met the wizard before, so yeah, double check. I don't need to go say hi to him. Yeah, so we've met him before. So one of the few people we haven't met is Sebastian. He hangs out in his room a lot. There's other times and places that you'll be able to find him. He always generally goes to the Stardew Saloon on Fridays with Abigail and Sam. They're his pals, so worst case scenario, we can wait until this Friday to grab him. He also hangs out by that fishing spot that we use up at the mountain lake a lot of the time in order to smoke cigarettes because he is not the healthiest of gentlemen. All right, here is the hat mouse. I am not going to waste 1,000 coins on a silly hat for now, but later in the game you will probably enjoy spending all of the money that you have on stuff like that, because if you follow this walkthrough, what you're going to end up having basically is more money than you can possibly spend, even after you've done things like buy all of the wizard's buildings, get your return scepter, buy the gold clock. I am in some end games where I just have more money than I could ever conceivably spend. And that's when I go to the mouse shop and buy hats so I can wear my outfits all snazzy every day. Like to dress up for different holidays, all that kind of stuff. But early on, don't worry about it. All right, another dandelion. Down there were all those spring onions. They will replenish pretty much every single day during the spring, maybe every other day. I usually don't find it worth my time to walk all the way down here every day because usually you're doing something else like fishing, foraging, whatever. But when you do walk down there, you always get at least 5 or 6 spring onions, and they make you a decent chunk of gold. All right, do a little bit of fishing. All right, a chub. And inventory is full, so we will head back up toward the farm. It's 7:30, so it's getting to the point in the evening where what I recommend that you do is spend most of your evening time close to the farm, especially as you're getting down into the yellow or lower energy, and clearing out space, getting rid of rocks, getting rid of stuff so you can walk through easily. Like, for instance, had to spend a couple seconds walking around there, so you'd get rid of that one. Inventory is full. We'll come back and nab it in a little bit here. All right, so what we'll do now is organize all of our stuff, get rid of, I think we've got pretty much all this stuff. Save a few dandelions. I might sell them in the next day or two, but for now, they're kind of helpful to have because we might make some wild seeds in a little bit here. But get rid of everything else, including the spring onions and the chub fish. And we have some more copper ore and coal, so we will make another one. We're now up to 5. And there's a 6th one in the burner. And then what we'll do at this point is, like we have pretty much every other evening, is walk around and clear some space. The advantage to doing that is most likely we'll level up in foraging skill either tonight or tomorrow. I think we did 2 days ago, so probably tonight, because we're spending plenty of time doing things like busting open rocks, which will level up our mining skill, as well as foraging, which we spent plenty of time walking around doing today, but it also helps when you knock off the tops of trees like we've talked about before. So these bigger leaved trees are the maples, I believe. So like I've said in previous videos. Try and evenly distribute which trees you knock down, because you'll end up getting the proper materials for your field snacks, which are invaluable early on in the game when you run out of energy a lot easier. As you can see, we're already lasting a lot longer than we did just a few short days ago. It's now 9:40 in the evening. We're only into the orange. We have plenty of energy left to walk around, chop down these trees without being worried about passing out just because we're like, 10 steps from the house. So going forward, you're just going to basically keep growing those skills, and that's the reason that we're doing this stuff every evening, is because it makes it easier to do the next time around. And eventually all of this wood, rocks, or stone, fiber, sap that we have is going to be really, really helpful in building things like barns and coops, as well as crafting items that are going to help you make a lot more money, like the mayonnaise machine once you get a coop going. All those types of things are really, really, really helpful to making a lot of money earlier on in the game than you otherwise would. Farming is really valuable, especially later in the game when you have a lot of more valuable crops, and especially when you are able to build sprinklers so you don't have to waste the entirety of your day walking around watering these things one by one. But for now, what we want to do is save up all this stuff, so as soon as we have the money to do it, we can get some farm animals and start crafting things in order to create more valuable items out of the items that we have. All right, so I was just about to fill up my watering can for the last day, saw the little shake showing that we were getting exhausted, so it is time for bed. Say goodnight to Rue there. He gave us a little heart, and we will go to sleep for the night. Nope. Rue's going to sleep too. All right, yeah, so we're going to go to sleep for the night. Let's see if we leveled up in anything. Yes, we did. Level 3 foraging, so more axe proficiency. We learned how to craft a tapper, which is going to be helpful to get all sorts of syrups and things from trees. Also leveled up our fishing, so now we can make bait. As soon as we upgrade our rod, we'll be able to put bait on it, which is going to help us get a lot more fish. And it's going to help us catch more fish just in general because our skill's a lot higher. So hopefully day 10 was helpful for you. You saw the advantage of walking around doing some foraging. Learned how important it is to give people gifts on their birthdays to really build up those friendship points fast, and sort of saw how you can get your levels up on everything sooner rather than later. So thanks for tuning in, and everyone have a great day.